Okay, I think that is recording. We're good to go. Yay! Okay, I'm so excited you're on. Welcome to the Team 180 call tonight, whether you're on live or listening to the recording. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm really excited about the topic tonight because this is the one thing that I know is the most challenging thing for pretty much all coaches. And as you'll come to find out if you don't already know, is that man, this is probably the biggest concern for anybody who is interested in the business is who am I supposed to talk to? Like how I know a few people, but beyond that, I don't know how on earth I'm going to actually like build a network of people that I can continually get like new customers and new business. Like how do you do that continuously? And so I want to talk tonight about that because I think it's so important that we know exactly how to build our contact list first and foremost, and then expand our market once we have built that, and then to go beyond just our warm market, which is the people who already believe in us or the people who already know us or the people who have some buy-in with us. So these are the people that are our friends and family, people who if we message them and said, hey, I really think you would love this product, that they would go, yeah, okay, yeah, because you said it, I'm totally in, like I'm willing to try it. And so that's kind of our warm market. Our cold market is the people we've never met before. These are the strangers. These are the people online. And so our goal is first and foremost to definitely seek to help our warm market first. Because the thing is, the truth is that, you know, if we can extend a helping hand to the people we know and our friends and family and really help them get to a healthier place, then that sets us up for great success. It helps us to get, you know, testimonials and to have these success stories of people that we know. And we already have their trust because they know us and they know our heart and our intentions. And then that just kind of then goes outward. But all of that to say, I have a few tips, and there's really no team announcements this week. So that is kind of cool. I'm excited for the people who are involved in the Push to Emerald group with Michelle and Summer and Team Iron. So I'm really excited to hear about how that goes for you guys this month. The next couple weeks, I know I'm in the team leader training, and so far it's been phenomenal. So that's something that they do sporadically. So if you're not involved in this one, you can always get plugged into a future group. And if you need to get plugged into, there is a Girl Boss training that I've set up on our team page for anybody who's a newer coach or somebody who just really needs to get back to the basics, and it's a self-paced group. So if you want more info on that and you're not already plugged in or you've not gone through it, just let me know and we'll get you plugged in and it'll be good to go. So okay, so I want to talk about building your contact list and expanding your market. And this, again, is so important because we are involved in a network marketing company, which means that our biggest job is to serve people and to help people and to continuously grow and to be able to reach more and more people. But that can't happen unless we are working consistently to build our contact list and expand our market. And so, and that may all sound kind of scary and like really businessy, but simply that, I mean, literally like just boiling it down to the heart of Team 180, that's just helping people. That's literally all that means. It's just helping people get healthy. It starts with us. It starts with our own health, and then we expand out from there. So I have a few things I want to tell you, and then I have 5 points that I'm going to make quickly. This is a half-hour call, so don't panic. This will go quickly. But I have a few points that I want to say first. First of all, number one is that when you are building your contact list and working to expand your market, you have to think outside of the box. So when you are at a place where you know you've got to be reaching out to making new connections and talking with new people and simply just making new friends that you can help get healthy, obviously our number one goal when we're meeting with people and talking with people, getting to know them, our number one goal should never be that we're trying to sell them a Beachbody product. That's not how we roll. That's not our heart and passion, because the truth is that it's so important that they feel it's a good fit for them and that we feel that what we have to offer is a good fit for them as well. And so, you know, not everybody's going to love our product. And I use this example all the time because my husband's now in CrossFit and he loves it. And he's always struggled to do at-home workouts. And so I'm never going to tell him, you need to just stop doing CrossFit and you need to do this just because, I think it's a good idea. It doesn't work for him. He has that community. He loves it. He's plugged in, and I would never ask him to leave. So it's really important that when I'm getting to know somebody, that I'm asking enough questions to where I know, okay, this person absolutely loves CrossFit. So I'm not going to suggest that they stop doing that and start doing a workout program. That's not how you build relationships. You got to ask questions, get to know the person, and then you go from there. So the number one thing, though, is that you do have to think outside of the box. So this means reaching beyond that comfort zone. And this is why most coaches don't enjoy this process, is because it can be uncomfortable. When we're looking to meet new friends, it means we kind of have to start putting ourselves in newer places, right? So, and it doesn't mean that you have to go and add a bunch of things to your plate. I'm not saying that at all. In fact, I'm saying think outside of the box by getting creative in the way that you connect with people where you're at now. So in the grocery store, you have to go to the grocery store once a week. Find ways to just connect with one person at the grocery store. And I'm not talking like have a 2-hour conversation, just simply, maybe just strike up a small conversation and then let them know, hey, are you on Facebook too? I'd love to just connect with you there, whatever. You guys know how to connect. It's just simply making that connection, thinking outside of the box sometimes, getting plugged in with more groups on Facebook. So maybe there's something about you that is unique, that you have a certain interest, and you can go on Facebook, get plugged into a group or a few groups that have the same interests as you, and start networking, getting to know people there. Just make new friends. That's seriously the goal, is that you make new friends. And I want you to write this down because it's so important. The goal that you have when you sit down to work your business every day or every morning, the number one goal that you need to have is to just simply talk to somebody new. So even if you're starting out and you're thinking, okay, this is a little bit overwhelming, I want you to just scale it all back and think every morning, my goal is that I'm going to simply talk to somebody new. That's my goal for today. Just one person is great. If you can do more and connect with more than one person, that's awesome. But if it's already overwhelming, just focus on meeting one new person, making one new friend a day. First of all, that's just a win-win all around, because even if they don't end up buying anything or getting plugged into your challenge group or, becoming a coach on your team or anything like that, that you've made that connection and you've built a relationship. And that's what life's about, right? Building relationships and serving one another. That's what life is about. So think outside of the box, though, when it comes to actually reaching out and connecting with people. Think about, and this is something you can totally write down ahead of time. It doesn't have to always be on the fly. Maybe you can plan to show up at more events when you're invited places. Plan to just show up and be there and be present and mingle. Don't always gravitate towards the same people, and start really reaching out and just building relationships with everybody, as many people as you can see. And that's the first thing. So think outside of the box. And then the second thing is that you can't use, if you claim to be shy, or you claim to not know very many people, this can't be an excuse for you in the business. You just have to know that up front, that even the shyest people, some of the top leading coaches would claim to be extremely introverted, extremely shy, but it never stopped them from pursuing this, because it's not about being the most loud person. It's not about having the greatest, most bubbliest personality that's like in your face. The goal, the entire idea of coaching is to be helpful, is to serve people. And that does not require a bubbly, outgoing personality. That requires a heart that is geared towards helping and serving others. That's it. That is it. So if you're willing to serve people and you're willing to go that extra mile for people, you can succeed far greater than the most outgoing people on the planet. It's all about where your heart is, and it's about serving other people. So being shy or not knowing very many people, that can't be an excuse. That has to, you can use that to fuel what you want to do in your pursuit, but it cannot be an excuse. Okay, so saying that, I mentioned that main thing is every morning you wake up and your goal when you work is to just meet somebody new, get to know somebody you've never met before, one person a day or more if you want to meet more people. So here are the 5 quick points that I have for you. Number 1 is that you have to make yourself public. And I just want to say this really quickly, that all of these points this is not just for newer coaches. This is not new information where brand new coaches, that it's only geared towards newer coaches that are trying to kind of figure out how to network and how to build relationships. This is for even the most seasoned coach, because here's the deal. There's going to be times in your business where you feel like, man, I really haven't talked to anybody new in the last couple days. I feel like I'm kind of getting stuck. I feel like I've talked to everybody on Facebook. I feel like I've talked to everybody in my world. And so now where do I go? And so even the most seasoned coaches need these 5 steps. And so whether you're a brand new coach or you're somebody who's been doing this for a while, I want to encourage you to write these down and make this something that you can look at every week, and that you're implementing these steps every single week. So number 1 is make yourself public. Make yourself known. So this is the thing. When you want to build your contact list and expand your market, you've got to make yourself known, in the sense that you can't hide behind the screen and just talk to people behind the scenes. It's very important that people know what you're doing, that people know that you are there to help them. It's important that they understand what your role is, because it's really hard to reach more people when they never know what you're doing, when nobody has a clue. Can you imagine, like, if, for anybody who would expect something out of you but they never told you anything about it? They're like, well, I was just kind of hoping that you do this. And you're like, I know, but you didn't even tell me. I have no idea that you're doing that. That's great, but I had no clue. And so it's so important that we make it well known to people what we do. And that is not at all saying, hey guys, I'm a Beachbody coach and I just want you to know I run challenge groups and I want to get you plugged in. That's not what I'm talking about at all. What I'm talking about is living your health journey loudly, and living it loudly enough to where they know, hey, you know what? I've been watching her and she's very consistent. She's been working out multiple times a week and she talks about it. She's been drinking this like super healthy shake thing and she keeps talking about it. And like, I've just been seeing a lot more of her posts, and she's just trying to really encourage people in their healthy journey. And so, it's just making yourself known, and not that you are an expert, not that you have it all together, but simply just making your journey known, and then allowing people to know that you are there to help them, that this is not just about you, that this is something to where you are working on you, but you're extending that helping hand to make sure that they understand that, hey, you are invited. You're invited into this journey with me. I am here for you. I'm here to serve you. That's what I'm doing. What I'm doing is because I'm working on me, but I want to help you. Putting your story out there is so great. So whether you're a brand new coach and you've never put your story out there, or you're a seasoned coach, let me remind you that sharing your story is something that you've got to continuously do. This is not something that you do once or twice and then hope and pray that people will go back to your page 6 months and scroll down through 6 months worth of posts and eventually find your story. This has to be something that you're constantly sharing. I know a lot of coaches will share it multiple times a week. And I mean, I'm not there. I wouldn't recommend doing it like, 3 or 4 times a week, but I would definitely say, once every couple weeks. I mean, even more often if you want to do that. But I think it's important sharing your story, and it doesn't mean that your entire story written out. It can even be like glimpses of your story. Share little bits and pieces of it, and really allow people to connect with those certain areas of your story. Share things that you've learned from, experiences that you've grown from, and because those are the experiences. Those are the things that are going to connect with people, that authenticity, just showing people, hey, this is where I've been. This is where I am now. This is how I overcame that. And I would love to help you. If you're in that place, I want to help you overcome that. So putting your story out there, keep telling your story. And again, people aren't going to know unless you tell them. They're not going to know what you're doing. They're not going to know that you're in a position as a coach to connect them with these awesome products and then from there, hold their hand every step of the way to make sure that they get the best results. They don't know that unless you tell them. So I want to encourage you, get creative in the way that you let people know what you're doing as a coach, Okay, so number 2 is that you've got to, and this is vital. So again, whether you're a brand new coach and you've not done this before, or you're a seasoned coach, making a list, brainstorming a list of names of people that whether they are close friends or just people that you've known from your past. Brainstorming a list of contacts is so important. And this is something even seasoned coaches, we can do on a weekly basis and just say, hey, okay, I've got to brainstorm a list of 5 or 10 people that I haven't talked to in a while, or people that I've never talked to before. And these are the people that I'm just going to simply connect with this week. I'm not going to send them a long message saying, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach and this and yada, yada, yada. I just want to get to know them. I want to check in with them, see how they've been. It's been a couple years since I've talked to them. So I'm just going to see how life is going. That's all I'm going to do is just reconnect with them, get to know them, try and see if there's a way that I can help them, even if it just simply means praying for them. I mean, truly, with no other intention, but just reconnecting and reaching out. So brainstorming weekly. So if you're a brand new coach and you have not made a list of, 50 or 100 names of people that you know, people that from your past or your present or whatever, but just making a list of as many names as you can possibly come up with. And these don't even have to be people that you know would be interested in health and fitness. These do not have to be people that you would even expect to say yes to anything you have to offer. These could be people that you're like, yeah, that was a teacher of mine, and now she's 70 years old, and there's no way she'd be interested in anything I have to say or do or any be a part of a challenge group or anything. Here's the deal. Here's the real deal. And I've been doing this for long enough to know we cannot ever prejudge anybody. There's nobody who is exempt from needing our help. There's nobody who's exempt from wanting our help or realizing that they need some help in their health and fitness. So don't ever rule anybody out, but write down everybody's name that you can think of and include them in that, because we just don't know who needs our help. Shakeology is universal for everybody. Shakeology is something that everybody needs. Not everybody wants, but everybody needs. It's something that is very important to just good health in general. And so Shakeology is a great, great tool that we can put in everybody's hands, no matter how old, no matter what, whatever they've got going on. Okay, so write down the names of everybody you know. And this could even be like when you're writing down this list, it doesn't even have to be just about their health. This could be, hey, I'm going to write down the names of some people in my life who I know just absolutely hate their job, their current job, and to be able to offer them this possible opportunity to work on their own health, to join my team as a coach, to work on their own health, to get other people plugged in, and to ultimately create an income for themselves to where they don't have to work for anybody else, that they can truly be their own boss. That this is something that they can create and an income that they can do that gives them a little bit more freedom and flexibility in their life and their lifestyle. Write down names of people that you think would appreciate at least even just hearing about the opportunity, and even people who you know in your life who you're like, man, that person's they're a go-getter. Like that person they are a doer. Like in everything they do in life, they are just awesome. Like they're on top of things. They're organized. This person is just really a great person all around. And I would love to just at least put the business in front of them, because you just never know. They may love fitness and health more than we realize, and they may be a great coach to add to your team. So don't ever rule anybody out. Again, stop assuming people will say no, because you just have no idea. And so it's important to always ask. So number 3 is to always connect with these people. So when in order to build your contact list and expand your market, after you have made yourself public, made yourself known to people, let people know what you're all about and what you're doing, and then you've brainstormed your list. And so you've got this big list. Now it's time to, number 3 is to connect with them, get in touch with them. And this is where you're building that relationship. This is where it's not all going to happen in an hour's time. Most of the time when you're getting to know people, this is back and forth over the course of a few days or maybe a week or 2. I mean, this is just as if you were to meet somebody in the grocery store and then just kind of, very slowly get to know them. And this is not an immediate, this is not we're not a company where we send out these cold messages where people just say, hey, I think you'd be a great part. Are you interested in this product? If so, I'm going to send you the link, and that's it. And then you're like, wait a second, they don't even know who I am. They don't know if I like makeup or not. Like how do they know? Wait, am I supposed to buy something? Like what's going on? We are so much about relationships, and it's so crazy that we miss this. Too many people miss this. In fact, I even had a girl from another network marketing company who messaged me, and I very politely said, I'm not interested. And she kept messaging me, and I just said, you know what? I said, can I give you a piece of advice? And I said, I'm trying, and just trust me, my heart's in a good place when I say this, but if you would have just built a relationship with me first and gotten to know me a little bit better. And if you would have asked me if I liked makeup or what I'm into, I said, there's a really good chance that if you were to get to know me and then suggest something, if the conversation led to makeup, if that's what you're selling, if the conversation would have led there and you would have, connected the dots where like, if I have dry skin, and you suggested a moisturizer or something, I said, more than likely, I probably would have been interested if you would have gotten to know me, to know exactly what it is that my needs are. And I said that to her, and I said, it's all about, you've got to really focus on building relationships. That's how you're going to do well. That's how you're going to succeed, is because people don't want to hear all about a product. They want to know what's going to work for them. And the only way to know that, the only way to understand what they need is to ask a bajillion questions, to listen to them, not throw a bunch of information at their, at them, because they get that all the time. And honestly, they can Google that. Whatever they need, they can Google it. They can search it on the website all by themselves. But the truth is that what they're not going to get is a relationship and somebody whose advice that they can trust, because they've built that relationship. And so that is so vital. It's so key. And to even end that story too, she ended up messaging me back and she's like, well, how do I do that? How do I go about really building relationships? And I that was a whole nother conversation, but I just thought, this is the thing. Like, a lot of people don't get the simplicity of just spending time investing in people, and not for a sale, but investing in people because of the relationship, because of just, doing that is just so important. Okay. So let me keep going before I run out of time. So now you're sending a message, you're reaching out, you're connecting, you're giving valuable resources. This is so key, you guys, is giving valuable resources. So like for me, what I've been doing lately is I've created and you may have got it, I created like my favorite crock pot recipes, just a simple PDF with my favorite crock pot recipes. And so people I talk to, if I get in conversation with them and we're talking about health and fitness, but my challenge group is just not a good fit for them, or they really want to try Shakeology, but it's not in the budget this month or something, I send them a crock pot recipe. I'm like, hey, listen, you know what? I'd love to at least just send you some crock pot recipes and enjoy these, and they're some of my favorites, and so I just wanted to get this to you and wanted you to try this, and that's it. Like, there's no sale. There's no expectation. There's no strings attached. I want to give you valuable information, because at the heart of what I'm doing is I really want to see people get truly healthy. And shoving a product down their throat and then them not ending up buying it, that's not building a relationship. That's really destroying a relationship ultimately, because, now they're turned off because, they didn't get what they wanted. I didn't get what I wanted. And then it's over. Right. And so, it's just about really giving them value and bringing value to their life, because it's all about them. And that's our job, is to serve them. So just simply think of ways to be helpful. You don't have to create a document. Just think of ways to be helpful, right? Make sure that you always plug them back into your websites. So make sure that you're always leading them back to where they can just get encouragement from you. So if you have an Instagram account where you're posting a lot of your health journey and a lot of your posts, make sure that they're connected to that, because when they're just watching you from afar, they're going to be encouraged. If you're sharing about your health journey, that's going to encourage them to just continue their own. So always find a way to loop it back around to where they are connected with you as you're posting. So that's just the easiest way to help give them resources, because, if you're wanting to be helpful and maybe you're posting good, awesome recipes to your page that, you want people to try, that's a free resource for them. You're helping them. You're connecting them to something helpful. Another thing is when you are connecting with people, when you're sending messages, when you're texting people that you haven't talked to in a while, or you're even picking up the phone and just checking in on somebody, be confident. Be confident when you do this, and not, not overly confident, but I'm just saying, be confident when you approach them and just getting to know them, understanding that you're coming to them just wanting to get to know them. And if the conversation turns to health and fitness, and you want to share with them what you're doing, that's great. And be confident in that. Don't be weary, and don't be, kind of like a little bit standoffish about it. Just be confident. This is what I'm doing. This is the journey I'm taking. These are the goals that I've set for myself. I'm really excited. I'm inviting other people to join me who, anybody who's in the same boat as me. I'm just getting them on board. We're going to do this. I'm going to hold their hand. We're going to support each other. We're going to lift each other up, and we're going to do this. And this is what it is. So just be confident. Share about coaching. So again, when you find somebody, or you think of somebody in your life who is a doer, somebody who just naturally is passionate, who loves to serve people and help people, or even just somebody who is a go-getter with their health. You've really noticed, hey, they've really taken action on their health, and they're doing great things. They're making really great strides. They're a go-getter. They're a doer. And so I would love to at least just present the business opportunity to them to see if this is something that they would be interested in. Be confident in that and share it. And don't, the worst thing that they can say is no. Truly, the worst thing that they can say is no, but at least that you've presented this awesome opportunity for them to work on their own health, and to potentially even, earn some gas money, or even better is to, potentially one day replace their income. I don't know. And there's no guarantees, there's no promises in that, but it's just an opportunity that anybody can take at their own pace and grow to whatever it is that they need it or want it to be. Okay, moving on. Number 4, again, is to just simply have a place to plug them in. So you've made that connection. So if it's a challenge group, then what you want to do is you want to begin planning your challenge groups ahead of time. And don't let this overwhelm you. What I would recommend is maybe have your challenge groups, if you're going to do one a month, have them planned out for the next 2 or 3 months. That way you can say, hey, if this month doesn't work out, my next boot camp or my next challenge group starts on May 15th or June 15th, or whatever your dates are for your group. That way you always have somewhere to plug them into. So that's important. And then number 5, because I know I'm running out of time, and this is so key. And honestly, if you don't take anything else away from tonight, this is the one thing I really want to make sure that you get, because it's something that I did not do until way later in my business. And now I know how many relationships and people that literally fell through the cracks, that now I can't remember, my brain can't remember. It's simply creating an email list. And this is so important because, number 1, you will always have all of the connections that you're making, these new contacts that you're making every day when you wake up and say, okay, I'm going to meet somebody new today. That person, every new person that you come in contact with, even if they don't purchase anything or they're just not interested in your challenge group, that's totally cool. But you've got their name and their number, and if there's any time, and their email address, if there's any time that you just want to send something encouraging, something helpful to them, like crackpot recipes, that you can do that to them and just say, hey, there's no strings attached. I just wanted to send you something to, try these recipes, and this is just my gift for you. That's all. I just wanted to send you something. Building that relationship, investing, giving them value, not expecting anything in return. But creating an email list for that purpose, for staying in touch, for follow-up, because follow-up is so key in this. Follow-up is everything, honestly. And so what I did and what I missed out on when I first became a coach for the first couple of years, truly, is that I wasn't creating an email list. I was relying on Facebook Messenger to keep track of all the people I've ever talked to, right? Terrible idea. Who's going to scroll back a year through their Facebook messages and go all the way down and try and read through everything and see where everybody's at, and then, did I email this person, or did I talk to them on Instagram, or did we talk on the phone? What was the end of that? Holy smokers. And especially if you're talking to one new person, that's a lot of people in a year. But for me, my goal was to meet 10 new people a day for a long time. And so I was meeting lots and lots of new people every day, and you can't keep up with that many people. Nobody can. Nobody can. And it was terrible. And if I would have just created an email list to where I have their email, I have their information, if I would have just kept track of that, man, I know my business would look a lot different today because of that. And that's one of the biggest things that I want to share with you is just please, please, please. If you're just starting, even if you've been doing this for a while, please keep track. And I use the Streak program in Google now, and it is a lifesaver. So if you need something free, if you are a Google user, you can download Streak, Streak, and it is phenomenal. I did a team call on this, so we can, so I can, if you want to watch that, if that's something you want to start implementing to keep track of your contacts, I did a call on it, and I'd love to give you that resource and make sure that you have that, because it's been a game changer for my business, just keeping me organized, keeping all of the contacts that I have organized. It's amazing. And then also there's Constant Contact, which is an email, like a marketing, contact type program. You do pay for that one, but it's fantastic because you can send out like newsletters and fancy emails and all that. But just simply creating your email list, keeping track of everybody. You can go back later and follow up with people. It will save your business. And honestly, when you go to give and make announcements and things, then you've got all these people that you've talked to in the past that you can share. Hey, we've got a new workout program. If you're, we've got a new flavor of Shakeology or something, and you've got this entire list to work with. And that is so key. That's vital for any business, not coaching, not just network marketing, but all businesses in the whole world across the board. It's vital to have an email list. So please do this now. Don't make the same mistake I did, please. So that's it. So there's the 5 steps. And then 2 last things. Number 1 is that I just want to encourage you to always be as social as you possibly can be, right? So kind of always wearing your coaching hat in the sense that you're always open to new relationships. Always. You're always open to being social. You're never closed off. It's not like you shut down and you're like, nope, not a coach right now. Nope, I don't want to talk to anybody. But just always being open and always being willing, because you never know who God is going to place in your path. You never know who He's going to put in your life that day, who needs you. That person, they're not going to talk to me. They're not going to talk to another coach because they're in your path on that day in that very situation for a reason, for a purpose. And so I want you to always keep your eyes open. Always wear that coaching hat, not to sell a product, but to get to know somebody, to get to know their heart and what their needs are, so that you can say, you know what, that's a need that I can help meet. That's a need. That's a need that I can get involved with. And so I think it's so important to always be looking for a way to be social. Always go to the events, go to the things you're invited to, be a part of it. Go to those neighborhood block parties, go to your kids' school friends parties and be involved in their school, and do everything you can to just simply build relationships with the people all around you. And in that same way, it's not about approaching people in a salesy way. Like for me, I know if I'm meeting somebody new, I'm not going to just, get to know them and say, hey, you know what? I don't know if you've ever heard, but there's these at-home programs, and it's just been a lifesaver for me. And I've been doing these, and, they're called Beachbody. Have you ever heard of Beachbody? Now, they also have Shakeology. Have you tried that? Like, I don't ever go into a spiel. I never feel like I'm trying to sell anything. If they ask me about health and fitness, I will give them advice. I can say, hey, you know what? I'd love to, let's connect over email, and I'd love to hear more of your story. I'd love to get to know you better. Because to me, it's not about making a sale in that moment. It's about building a relationship that if it leads to a sale, if it leads to getting them plugged into a boot camp, if it leads to them becoming a coach on our team, that's fantastic. And I'm excited. And that's what gets me fired up. But that's not the reason that we build relationships, and that's not how you will be successful in building a contact list and expanding your market. It rises and falls on your heart in building new connections by building relationships, getting to know people, listening, being aware of what the needs that are going on around you, and being willing to go a mile, even though they may only give you an inch. You're willing to take it a mile and say, you know what, I would love to help meet that need. Mom to mom, woman to woman, whatever. I'm here to help you. So that's what it's all about. That's how you can simply build your contact list. So make yourself public, number 1, and put yourself out there. Make known what you're doing in using your words, using your story. It doesn't have to be, there's no script, there's no template. I want you to share your personal story and your journey. That's what it's all about. Make yourself public. Number 2, make that list of names that you're going to go through, that you're going to connect with. And then you brainstorm. So you got that list. Then you begin reaching out to those people and building those relationships. And then from there, You plug them into anything, a resource, anything that you have to offer, and challenge group, getting them plugged into whatever that fits that need, and then you get them plugged into your email list and start creating that email list. Those are the practical steps of building your contact list and expanding your market. And it all starts there, and just keep doing that. This is not a one-time thing. This is not just only when you start building your business. This is all the time. This should be, like, I do this almost on a daily basis. I truly do. This is something that I'm constantly doing. I'm constantly sharing, posting. I'm posting on social media. You guys know this. We all are. We're posting on social media. We're making lists of new contacts. We're constantly connecting with new people. We are plugging them into awesome things, and we're keeping track so that we can follow up. That's it. So, okay, so that is simplified way of doing that. It obviously takes effort. It's easy to say, it's harder to do, and it's usually, like I said in the beginning, it's most coaches' least favorite thing, which is kind of sad, because this is what we do. We're in this for people. We're here to serve people. But I understand, because it can be scary. It's uncomfortable. If this is not uncomfortable to you, then you need to like teach me something. It's uncomfortable for me too. It's uncomfortable for everybody. Because going outside of our comfort zone, outside of our box to meet needs and not knowing how people are going to respond necessarily, that's uncomfortable for any and every human being. And that's just how this is. But we all know that the greatest things that happen in our life, the greatest accomplishments we have, come when we step outside of our comfort zone and when we begin serving other people. When other people's needs become greater than our own, that is when the greatest things in our life, that's when we'll experience those things. So I just want to encourage you in that. So I'm going to let you go. I went over our time, so I apologize, but I wanted you guys to have all that. So if you have any questions, please, you can leave it in the Team 180 page. You can ask questions. We can dial or communicate there. You can connect with me if I'm your upline coach. Send me a message or email or text or call or whatever you need. Or if I'm not your upline, make sure to connect with your upline after this call. But thank you guys so much for being on live. Thanks for watching the recording when you do watch this. I'm excited. I'm grateful to do this with you guys. I'm grateful to be on this journey with you. I'm just crazy blessed to know you and to be your friend. So I appreciate you guys. Enjoy your evening with your family, and I will talk to you very, very soon. All right. Bye, guys.